Nedbank Cup to surf up some incredible drama. TS Galaxy are 2 goals to the good against Mamelodi Sundowns in this last 16 tie. And in response, Mamelodi Sundowns are making a triple change, but let's first report on the solitary alteration that Galaxy will be making with Paul Velase onto the park. And then for Mamelodi Sundowns, Tata Sebia replaced by Tapelo Morena, and Tashreeq Matthews and Brian Leon coming on for Tabeleng and Letlaku. The last time the Mamelodi Sundowns were knocked down to the last 16 stage, Tapelo Morena actually started and played in that game, and Peter Masamani, that was a 1-0 loss in 2017 to Le Montfort Golden Arrows. Looks like TS Galaxy actually want to make a second change. I wonder if that's in response to something that they had seen the triple change potentially from Mamelodi Sundowns, or if it was already in the offing. But we said that they signed Tsepo Kakola and they had to wait an absolute age before being able to register him. But now that they have resolved their issues with the Gegbe Kone dispute, he will get an opportunity now against Mamelodi Sundowns. Specifically, Maduna makes way of him. Maduna was off the field for a good few minutes in that opening half, and they resisted the urge to change him, and he managed to come back on, but now indeed does make way. So, Kakola, who has not played a competitive match since August, the end of August, is on now for TS Galaxy. He's very highly rated by another guy, just talking about it in their first game of 2026 when they faced Ormo Gallus. They had brought him on board. They were very eager to get him involved. So it will be a goal kick, as confirmed by the referee, much to the displeasure of Divine Lunga. Koza, not the most convincing header there, similar to Kwaslambi. Now an opportunity to go against Modena. He's got the better of it. Let's swallow. Can't dig it out. Ojana beaten by Tashreeq Matthews. Scored 3 goals in the Nedbank Cup last season. Did Matthews? Mabasa Pulemori got more in last season's competition. There's Johannes 6 options here. Modena. So it's a bit of a rare thing for Mamelodi Sundowns to concede 2 first half goals. Amanda, it's been almost a year since they conceded 2 in the first half. Koza goes for it. And he's produced a fierce effort here and forces a great save out of Iratape.
Yeah, he had to cause us so much space and time on the ball. Gets the accuracy, gets the power, gets the reaction needed from Ira. Safe.
Pushed into the box. Yeah. Punch on that. Tashreeq Matthews. Back to Allende. Santos. By the way, TS Galaxy's goal scorer, 19-year-old Fernando Nguenya, has departed. So we can confirm for you, Maduna and when you're off, Benassi and Kakora are on. 5 changes made in total across both teams at the half-time break. Plenty of space here for Monet. Cross from deep, is a decent one. Ashabi. Sueño. Bujana. Good away to Nazinho. Fine set-ups. Benassi. Away from danger. Johannes. Oh, it's a good pass from Kimi. Johannes disguised the pass, feigned that he was going to shoot and located Morena.
Yeah, I think he does well to make sure that he locates Morena, and that's why Morena is being introduced. It's very critical where the overload is concerned, but also overlapping, making himself always an option.
Way by the swing. Kakora. And it's not able to hang on to it. It's broken here for Junior Zindoga. Has space to move into, taking on Johannes. Still Zindoga. Mentioned dispossessed, a combination of Johannes and Lazinho. TS Galaxy at home to Mamelodi Sundowns has steadily improved. They lost their first 3 home games against Sundowns. Actually have beaten in their last 3 matches, home matches against them. Santos races here. Santos setting up Matthews. Oh, what a save. What a stop from the other top there. They were queuing up.
Spoke how important he was in the vehicle era to make sure that he's highly concentrated. Great for Mamelodi Sundowns. Santos doing ever so well to wait for an option to come. Of course, Matthews arrives unmarked, misses an opportunity, but Era, what a save.
2 top stops in the second half already. So help the nudge of Brian Leon and no hesitation of going down. Having games this season where he's really emerged as a hero type of hero. The final game of 2025 made 8 or 9 saves against Kaiser Chiefs to keep the score at 0-0. Now they have a lead to protect. And a foot in the quarterfinals, perhaps a toe in the quarterfinals, because they are up against Mamelodi Sundowns, who do still have just under 40 minutes to try and turn this around. Swallow. And then working it here to Matthews. Followed by touch trick Matthews, too strong for Peter Shadolino. Scraped away by Tape. Not all too convincing, but it's good to go it out. Then that's it. Junior Zindoga cut out by Allende, but he's relinquished position. Jana back to Tape. Booming clearance from the Ivorian. TS Galaxy today become the 41st different side. The Mamelodi Sundowns have faced in the Nedbank Cup era since 2008. Sundowns, the 15th different team that Galaxy are facing. This is just their 18th match overall in the Nedbank Cup. TS Galaxy won it back in 1819, famously against Kaizer Chiefs as a second-tier side, becoming the first team from outside the top flight to win the National Cup. It's looking good for Galaxy. And set for the corner.
There's a great sense of confidence with TS Galaxy. Patience as well as they recycle the ball. Really trying to evoke that reaction from Mamelodi Sundowns to just really chase the game.
Will be a typical corner to take the corner. A man that knows all about upsetting the odds in a cup game against Mamelodi Sundowns. Did that to the current knockout final. His former side, Magesi, famously getting the victory. And Young assessed his options and went to find Matthews. Sundowns with the targets, with 50% of their shots so far. Do have the lion's share of possession, just under 60%. The ball with Brian Leon. Can't keep his feet. Zindoga. Jairzinho. Morena. Santos. Tapena Morena. Shanalile. And then Leon. And now a chance for Matthews again. Allende. Leo. Collected by Jairzinho. A defensive touch very nearly caused all kinds of problems for Galaxy.
Yep. Great pass. Great mobility and movement from Mamelodi Sundowns. Beyond just making himself an option, TS Galaxy is still making sure that they keep the scoreline at 2-0, clearing their lines.
Allende. Mahlambi. Good challenge by Matthews. Just can't get it away at the moment in Galaxy. Leon goes down. Not at all interested in his appeals. Jairzinho. Santos. Cosa. And it falls.
I think it's going to be a little bit difficult for the likes of Allende in the second half to really try and find those spaces. Ujane putting all the necessary pressure. TS Galaxy, the bodies behind the ball.
Flying forward by Cosa. Shanalile. Trying to keep the ball moving with a pass to Lunga. Puts it to him a little inaccurately. complexion of the Mamelodi Sundowns defence, despite seeing only one alteration in personnel, the complexion of the defence itself has changed quite drastically, with Lunga now switching to that left back role and Johannes vacating right back to allow perhaps a more mobile wide man in Morena to operate down that flank. As we look at this challenge from Kakora.
Yeah, I think he just slips as he makes that tackle. But certainly that shape had to change. Lunga didn't really seem very comfortable in the centre back position. But also Sibia maybe a little bit knocked in confidence after giving a penalty. So it's all about restructure for Mamelodi Sundowns at the back.
Kakora, to the book, is the fourth TS Galaxy player to have his name taken. But of all the three players who received cards in the first half for TS Galaxy, only Incognito remains on the field. Allende's ball, backed out of the sky by the top end. Okay. Koza. Morena. So winning goal in 2022's final against Bruno Gallants, a game in which Peter Shadalida opened the score. Julia Dion getting the equalizer. Morena scoring in the last minutes of extra time in that particular match. It's the last time that they won the Nedbank Cup. So Mamelodi Sundowns will be making a change. And listen to the roar from this capacity crowd. Peter Shadalina has been a bit quiet against one of the teams he absolutely loves playing against. He's only scored more goals against Chiefs and Arrows over the course of his career than he has against TS Galaxy. Here is Tembers Wane. Also came off the bench back in 2017 against Le Mans for Golden Arrows, the last time that they lost a last 16 game in the Nedbank Cup. That day, Kennedy Mwene, who's on the bench as Sundowns goalkeeper coach, kept goal for them. Zinho. Now this is Sarne. And all hands to the pump in terms of the defensive work, even your lively forwards, like so Mahlambi.
Yeah, it's important for TS Galaxy now to really keep their shape, to minimize those spaces in between. The likes of Tembazwane really like to operate, haven't been able to play or receive between the lines, which means TS Galaxy are very being disciplined defensively.
Zwane to Matthews. Allende. Nice ball for Morena. Zindoga. Taking them back at the moment, won't allow them to escape, so the pressure remains on.
Spoke about how important it is for Mamelodi Sundowns to really play with a little bit of rhythm. And since the introduction of the likes of Matthews, Tembazwane as well, Morena, kind of get to see that little bit of tempo, that little bit of rhythm that we're used to seeing. Maybe an opportunity to really chase the match.
Mamelodi Sundowns have had more than 80% of the possession over the last 5 minutes or so. It did take them until just beyond the hour mark to break down TS Galaxy when they met at the beginning of November when Ancho Sales scored the only goal. Santos now mixed up with Morena. Zinho. Koza. Still might want to Koza. Last time he gave them space, really tested Iratape from range. It's well won by Kakora. It's a free kick.
The counter press of Mamelodi Sundowns now coming into effect because they really want to keep TS Galaxy pinned back into their own half. Kakora really struggling to get three defenders of Mamelodi Sundowns.
Only twice in 12 previous meetings between these two sides, the Sundowns failed to find the back of the net against TS Galaxy. The 2-1-0 defeats they suffered at home in the 2022-23 season, and then the away defeat last season. And they find a way through. Nice. Join it. Lunga. Timbers on it again. Running Leon. Leans forwards. Looking for touch to Matthews. Then that's it. Off the tug of the shirts.
Velas's introduction certainly means that he's going to make sure that he does the dirty work to pick up pieces in that midfield.
Squeezed through nicely by Letsurio Zindonga with the first time ball. Letsurio not on the same page as him. Santos. Matthews. Lunga. And Allende scoops it over.
Allende just making a great run into the box. Quick acceleration, timing as well. Lunga bobbing down on the left. Finally get to see him making sure that he operates on that wide flank.
Cordoso was wearing white actually in the first half, but on the touchline can't be wearing the same colour as one of the teams out there on the park, as Mahambi was dragged down by Johannes.
Love Mahambi's confidence, enjoying the match, his ability to take on the opposition, drawing another foul from Johannes, uses his speed, quick acceleration, also just the skills in terms of close control of the ball.
That's an interesting tactic from the free kick. Here's Letsurio. Velase. Letsurio. Played it nicely. That's Sundowns deal with it well. Johannes now. Not rather aimlessly upfield. Unita. Victor Letsualo. Zindonga. Kakora can't find a way past Matthews. Ball handed straight back to TS Galaxy. Back Mahlambi. Mahlambi. Still Mahlambi. Then she dispossessed. Sliding in goes Kakora. It's with Matthews and shoot by Swane. Again there, down the flank. More touch street Matthews. Only Brian Leon in the box. And Salatiel Silva steps forward tirelessly. Letsualo now. Zindonga. TS Galaxy have made it to the last 65 seasons in succession, but they don't have a particularly good record at this stage. Well, let's call it patchy. 5 appearances in the last 16, 2 wins and 3 losses. They look to preserve this 2-goal advantage. Touchstreak Matthews with the cushion header. Letsualo to Velase. Oh, well, they still having a few hairy moments, TS Galaxy.
And they can't afford to take that much risk in their own half. Mamelodi Sundowns are really applying the pressure and hoping to really press on, force them into those mistakes.
So, Aubrey Moriba is on, the man who provided an absolutely divine assist for Brian Leon, and will be much more willing to get up and down that flank than Divine Hunger is. Precisely what they need at the moment is Touchstreak Matthews sit onto the roof of the nets. Masago has been with the team since the time in the first division. As a senior in attendance. Well, he's just resisting the urge now to let that smile creep across his face. Tsukasi is a man who's been in football long enough to know that 20 minutes is an awful long time. A 2-goal lead is not as big as it seems. I'm still shooting some treatment here.
It's been a physically sapping game. I can't imagine weather conditions as well make it a little bit difficult, and hence contribute immensely with the cramping. But they certainly need to make sure Matang gets back into that defensive force because they've been doing exceptionally well with Silva.
Zwane doesn't control as neatly as he would have liked. And does get to Matthews. Almost manages to return it to him. Jefferson Bonjana charging forward. Letsualo turns it on as quickly as he possibly can, and he has it back over the top from Bonjana, who's offsides.
That's exactly how you turn defense into attack. Bunjana winning the ball back into his own position. Then once again follows the play leading up to a potential goal scoring opportunity. Couldn't beat the offside trap.
That's a good decision from Thomas Nanga on that far side. The second assistant, Tim was running out for Modiba. Away by the swing. Starts to Then First Division side Durban City last season at this very same stage, TS Galaxy. Looking to go to the quarterfinals once again. Go on, let's win it. Will he get another bite? He does. Onyango's been able to recover in time. Well, so often over the course of this game, Sundowns have been guilty of putting themselves in these awful positions. As Morena now gets the ball in and it's forced a corner.
Yeah, Mamelodi Sundowns have just lacked the composure at the back. Could be a different combination with centre back pairing, but of course, calls up.
Oh, look at that run from Victor this one. That's just pure willpower. It's just what an effort.
All there is just timing up against a player like Koza. Just need to make sure that you don't give those kinds of opportunities.
Koza does recover very well, though. That's his touch to let's see. He had initially gone for the chip. He went for the chip twice in succession.
Yeah.
By Johannes, Tashrik Matthews for Allende. To make it to the quarterfinals of this competition for just the third time in their history, the Rockets did it back in 2019. They beat Jomo Cosmos in the last 16 to progress through to the last 8, but eventually go on to win it. And in 2 seasons back, comfortable with 3-0 over non-league Irish Society General. Now this will be by far their biggest scalp at this stage of the competition. China. Maslambi. Similar to Maslambi. Trying to catch Onyango onto his near post. Maslambi desperate to end that goal drought.
Yes, Mamelodi Sundowns had 4 shots on targets. Most of them came in this kind of fashion.
Yeah.
Always locating in the wide areas. Great first touch to set himself up. Wants to go for that near post to try and beat Onyango.
Could have won that game inside regulation time, the first round against Gallants. Forced into extra time with a Swallow won it in the 104th minute. Achieved by Letsuenyo. Hangs it up. Should be an easy claim for Onyango. It is. Cedric Maslambi has been so lively. Man who gave them the 2-goal cushion by winning that penalty against Tatsupia.
I think the only area of improvement would be just for him to improve how clinical he gets immediately when he enters that 18-yard box or forcing those box entries.
Sane been able to move into the flank with Matthews. Godiva has come inside. He's really set up for Vizinho. He's lost the ball now. Zinjana. Zindoga takes it on himself. Junior Zindoga, who will here will shortly be making way, wanting to impact the game in the little time that he still has on the field. Maths. Waiva. Clever from Tashrik Matthews, still can't free himself from Obamoto. Tembazone with a wonderful turn, swept it by Tucker. Well, Tembazone, who hasn't scored since netting in the Nedbank Cup final 2 seasons ago in what ended up being a losing cause against Orlando Pirates. Now, play towards Brian Leon. He's been able to keep it alive here. Nuno Santos. That's probably not what he intended. Bunjana gets it clear. Silva is down.
Yeah, the judge to be going on. Bunjana starts up. Sure, you have to marvel the work that Zwane does to make sure that he gets very low, shows great strength, uses the defender. Look at that turn. The save from Era really keeping Test Galaxy in the lead.
Come up with several crucial saves now, and it's Tucker. Shotland Gaga relinquished his spot in the 11 for the debutant for Mamelodi Sundowns, who scored the opening goal, but he will get a chance now in the final 10 minutes of regulation time. Remember, there's still potential for 50 beyond that, but Mamelodi Sundowns would have to draw level. And Junior Zinoga, with the day's second goal, has made way for Morikater, his job done. Solid, the other player should be withdrawn. GS Galaxy playing for the 8th time at home in the Nedbank Cup. Lost 4 times and won just thrice, but they have won their past 2 home games in the competition. That was against Garrett's this season, and against Vasco da Gama in the first round of the previous campaign, a 7-0 victory. Santos. Bunjana takes care of it. Santos to Leo. The defensive work done. Shotland Gaga. Get clear. Johannes under it. There's Johannes. He has gone well off the mark.
Things haven't really gone on Mamelodi Sundowns' way. Really tried to penetrate the wide areas and get the crosses. Frustration on Johannes' face, spells being forced to take those long-range shots. None of them have really troubled Era, who I think has been exceptional this afternoon, with some top saves.
Guys, she's not involved in Nedbank Cup action. They went out to Stellenbosch in the first round. Have a chance to get their revenge against them in the Nedbank Premiership this coming Tuesday at the FAB Stadium. Even if Masabi doesn't get on the score sheet today, I think he'll be very encouraged by his own output. And I'm sure it is weighing on him that he hasn't got a goal in such a long time after a great start. The golfer also watches on pensively.
think it becomes very important for players like Makambi in terms of just knowing what they can contribute, but the numbers as well as an attacking player matter just as much. It is that he's not getting on the goal front, he should be assisting in topping those stats.
Okay, that's it bursting through. By Santos. Zwane for Matthews. And Mahlangu getting there ahead of Brian Leon. Mamelodi Sundowns since 2008, today playing in their 66th Nedbank Cup match. They have lost only 14 times, that's including wins and losses on penalties, 51 wins. But they are heading towards another defeat here. Johannes. Morena. Santos. Decent delivery from out wide, but Leon beats into it. Morena. Velasquez stepping in. Suddenly let's bring your hacking in here. TS Galaxy very eager to make their fifth and final change, but Sundowns quickly restart play. Allende to Santos. Good ball in from Santos, but Aaron collects brilliantly. Aaron's up there with a lovely play.
Yeah, he's been fearless, commanding his area, very confident as well at the back.
Still looking for a route back into this game. It's in the clutches of the Galaxy goalkeeper. It's not where Sundowns want the ball to be at this very moment. Mahlami laying it off for Shatlap Gaga. Oh, that's brilliantly done by the right fullback. Luton doesn't get into those kind of positions all too often. Usually on the outside, and he made an inside run that's jinked past a couple.
Yeah, he had to exercise a lot of discipline this afternoon. This Mudawon usually bombs up forward, but this time around had so much more to do defensively.
Well, they're going to lose an attacking player, lose an outlet here, but they're replacing it with defensive-minded player. I mean, holding midfielder, although he's played right fullback for Galaxy this season as well.
Yeah, closing shot, game management, bringing in another defensive midfielder to really just try and keep things very tight in that midfield and not give Mamelodi Sundowns any chance.
Ricky saw Kennedy Mwene there. In goal the last time Sundowns fell at this stage in the Nedbank Cup, which was 9 years ago now. Chamini, his first involvement is a good one. Muto. Spaces his pass to Modiba. This is Zwane. Still toiling in pursuit of a comeback on Mamelodi Sundowns, who definitely know how to score late, as they've already proved this year against Supreme United. A 2-0 win with both of their goals coming in injury time. Shatlap Gaga with a nice pick out of Kakora. It's lost it too much of the swimmer. This is only the second time TS Galaxy have ever scored 2 against Mamelodi Sundowns. It's the first time in almost a year against any side that they've scored 2 in the first half. And that's the first time in almost a year that Sundowns have conceded 2 in the first half. But the game that we keep drawing comparisons with is that last 16 clash in the Carling knockout back in 2023. The Galaxy took 2-goal leads. Sundowns hit back 2-2. A game that eventually went to penalties. A game that is overshadowed in part by Bernard Parker's horror injury for Mamelodi Sundowns breaking his leg in that particular game, if you recall. Now this is looking better for Mamelodi Sundowns. Design to crowd it out. We're officially into the final minute of regulation time. Outswinging take. It's well met, but loops up off the heads of Nuno Santos and over.
Yeah, Mujana does just enough to make sure that he doesn't get to the ball very comfortably. It's a little bit difficult for him. Santos hasn't really found any chances. It's been a difficult afternoon for Mamelodi Sundowns.
We're about to learn how much injury time will be added here. As 4 minutes goes up on the board. Johannes. Logango. What do you call it? The ball for Keita. Stepping over to Sundowns and Dennis Onyango. Jezinho. Santos is on the move. Silver away. Touch Matthews. Moriba. Both on his second half substitutes. Still Aubrey Moriba. Now Jezinho. Gaga. It's working here for Zion Leon. And a free kick for Mamelodi Sundowns. Well, Ryan Leon appearing for a yellow card for Kakora, who is already on a yellow. Perhaps under other circumstances it might have warranted a booking.
That's no danger indeed.
So it needs to be now for Mamelodi Sundowns. They have 2 minutes remaining. They need to score 2 goals. One of them has to surely be from this free kick. Take it direct. This one from Modiba. Sums up their afternoon.
Absolutely. A team with great quality. Mamelodi Sundowns, we believe in open play that they didn't get that kind of rhythm. They should be really showing absolute professionalism in terms of set pieces. Those are the opportunities they got and they should be capitalizing.
Johannes rolls it across field here for Morena. Santos. Pull across. From the Tepe. The Sweets has seen his sides produce heroics over the past 7 days. But this afternoon in Queensland, so it's not their day. It's a famous victory for TS Galaxy at the Southern Atlanta Stadium. They are through to the Nedbank Cup quarterfinals for the 3rd time in their history. But they achieve it by getting past Mamelodi Sundowns. 2 goals in the first half.